ह्यन्तः प्रविश्यं वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं यं गुरुं हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञाभक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चापि कृता नित्यं तं गुरुं प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Can we start? 51. 51. एतत् साध्वसकारणं कलयितुं प्राग्देहपाताद्बुधः चेच्छक्नोति विमुच्यते न यदिह सर्गेष्वधीर्जायते आदर्शे मुखमीक्षते हि पुरुषः स्पष्टं नतो ये पुनः तद्वन्मानवजन्मनि स्फुरतरं नान्यत्र सद्दर्शनम् जाग्रत्यात्मनि निर्मले परपदं स्पष्टं यदा भासते तद्वन्मानवजन्मनि स्फुटतरः ब्रह्मात्मबोधो नृणाम् स्वप्ने स्पष्टमिदं विभाति तु यथा तद्वत् पितॄणां पदे गान्धर्वेऽपि च दैवते स्फुटतमं सत्ये तु तद्दुर्लभम् त्वक्चक्षुश्रुतिरासनं निपुणधीः घ्राणं च दृष्ट्वोदितं वायुवर्चर्यदं बुभूभ्य इतरत् सच्चित्सुखादात्मनः येषां जागृतिसम्भवं च विलयं
स्वापे तथा साक्षिणम्
स्वात्मानं परमव्ययं ध्रुवमजं ब्रह्माथ नो शोचति योऽसाविन्द्रियचित्तसम्मतिमहन् मायापरो व्यापकः अलिङ्गः सन् पुरुषोऽस्य तस्य तु पदं नोदृक्पथे तिष्ठति नैनं पश्यति कश्चनेन्द्रियगणैः यः कोऽपि धन्यः पुनः बुद्ध्या हृत्स्थितया विचार्य यो वेद तत्सोऽमृतः साकं यत्र हृदेन्द्रियाणि विषयव्यावर्तितान्यासते तूष्णीं यत्र न चेष्टते च धिषणा यत्राप्रमत्तः पुमान् तस्मिन्नात्मनि सस्फुरत्यविषयः वाचो हृदोऽपि स्वयं यस्मादेतदभूद्विनश्यति यतः शून्यं तु तत्स्यात् कथम्. We are done up to this. 56th verse. Is a condensed version of two more mantras in the Kathavalli. See, in the previous class when we did 55, so that was almost taking us to 12th mantra. So this 13th mantra and 14th mantra will be covered here. I will read the verse once, repeat, then we will. Karyasyasya nidarshanadupalabheta. Karyasyasya nidarshanadupalabheta. Karyasyasya nidarshanadupalabheta. Astiti hetum param. Astiti hetum param. Astiti hetum param. Svatmanam prathamam tato nirupadhehe. Svatmanam prathamam tato nirupadhehe.
Svatmanam prathamam tato nirupadhehe.
Tattvam sphutam bhasate. Tattvam sphutam bhasate. Tattvam sphutam bhasate. Samyak jnanina eva matra tu yada. Samyak jnanina eva matra tu yada. Samyak jnanina eva matra tu yada. Kama vinashtas same. Kama vinashtas same. Kama vinashtas same. Hritstha esha tada mruto bhavati va. Hritstha esha tada mruto bhavati va. Hritstha
esha tada mruto bhavati va.
Brahmaiva sampadyate. Brahmaiva sampadyate. Brahmaiva sampadyate. So I will read the mantras 13 and 14. Then we will come back to this verse. Astityevopalabdhavyaha tattvabhavena shobhayohu. Astityevopalabdhasya tattvabhavah prasidati. This is 13th mantra. And the 14th mantra goes as Yada sarve pramuchyante kamayesya hridishritaha athamartyo mruto bhavati atra brahma samashnute. So you can see this verse 56 ends with Brahmaiva sampadyate. Okay. Hritstha esha tadamruto bhavati. Amruto bhavati is also there. Athamartyo mruto bhavati. Hritstha esha tadamruto bhavati va brahmaiva sampadyate. See, in the previous class, when we did the verse, it was stated, if you just recall, Sakamyatra hridendriyani vishayavyavartitani asate. He spoke about yoga and so on, by which one will be able to focus one's own mind. So instead of getting the mind shattered by various ways, so we also saw one or two karikas how this is spoken of even in the Gaudapada's Vyakhyan. So we saw all that in the previous class. Now he is saying Astityeva upalabdhavyaha. There are two positions which one can take. Sharirādriktaha atma asti, sharirādriktaha atma nasti. So here he is saying Astityeva upalabdhavyaha. So sharirādriktaha, when you say the sharira, after all, it is in some tangible form. And we also try to understand that it is a panchabhautika sharira. I mean, this is one kind of classification. One can think of many ways in which, so it is made of cells, one can say. So it is made of some panchabhuta, one can say. Whatever it is, so it is made of something. And this is something which our own sense organs tell that it is. You have to understand. So the existence cannot be denied because the indriyas fetches this jnana. Asti iti. So asti ityeva upalabdhavyaha. Now the sharira asti, one has no issue. So you see, mat putraha asti, mat pita asti, everything is asti. But then after prete, so shariram nasti, gone. So it has turned into ashes. So there is something which is beyond that or not? This was the question that was posed at the beginning of this Upanishad. Now he is trying to take this further and then says, this is not with respect to Sharira and this Atman alone. We are talking of this entire universe itself. So Asti, this is one speck of this universe is this Sharira. So this comes, goes. So Asya kimapi moola asti. Asya kimapi moola asti, if you take this Panchabhuta division, then it is Panchabhuta is moola tatu asti. But if you ask this question, where does this arise from, this Panchabhuta itself, which has formed this particular form? So then you move to further question. Amatma, this. So that was what the previous mantra was trying to tell. That naiva vacha na manasa praptum shakyo na chakshusha asti iti bravatonnyatra kathantad upalabhyate. So he was resorting to our own anubhava and then said buddhirhinah pramanam satasatoho yathatmya avagame, and buddhi says it is sat. And now in this verse he is trying to, in this mantra, he is trying to extend it. I'll read the mantra. It's a simple mantra, but the commentary has some interesting things. The mantra goes as Asti ityeva upalabdhavyaha tattvabhavena chobhayoho. Ubhayoho. It's an interesting usage here. What are the two things? Sopadhikaha atma, nirupadhikascha atma. There are two kinds of ways in which one can visualize this atma. So as described in the Shrutis, Astityeva upalabdhavyaha tattvabhavena cha ubhayoho astityeva upalabdhasya tattvabhavaha prasidati. This is what it says. Tattvabhavaha prasidati means it gets pleased. What gets pleased? This tattvabhava comes and dawns upon you. Okay? That jnana gets pleased means it is so happy that it dawns upon you. That is how one has to understand. So pita prasidati, guruhu prasidati means he gets pleased. Pleased means so they will do something which is favorable to you. Similarly, this jnana will come, dawn upon us and do something which is favorable for us. Favorable is essentially sarvadukha prashamanam. That is what tattvabhavaha prasidati. What he says. Asti ityeva upalabdhavyaha. For that, so let us read Acharya's commentary. He says, Tasmat apohya asadvadi paksham asuram asti ityeva atma upalabdhavyaha satkarya buddhyadyupadhibhihi. So let us understand this. Tasmat means based on the discussion that we had. Apohya asadvadi paksham asuram. Asadvadi paksha is, there are two levels as I was just mentioning. One is shariratriktaha atma nasti, jagataha upadanamapi nasti. This is asadvadi paksha. So discarding that, apohya asadvadi paksham asuram. Asuram is something which will only create a certain turmoil, not tranquility. Okay? Dambho darpobhimanasya krodha parushyameva cha. What is it? Dambho darpobhimanasya krodha parushyameva ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampada masuri. So does anyone like this? Dambha darpa abhimana. So anything that only creates a certain atmosphere which is unpleasant is asura. So he says this is something which will not bring in certain tranquility. Asadvadi paksham asuram apohya asti ityeva atma upalabdhavyaha sharirātariktaha atma asti jagataha upadana bhutam brahma asti. You should just take sadvastu atma. Asti ityeva-atma upalabdhavyaha satkarya buddhyadyupadibhihi. He is just recounting what we did. So in the previous class we saw the sadbuddhi sarvatra anuvartate, and therefore you have to do yadatu tadrahitaha avikriyaha atma karyancha karanavyatiregena nasti. So now yadatu is just taking us slightly differently. So what was the thing that we were doing in the sopadhika case? Okay. So karya is there, and therefore there has to be a karana. Understand? So karyam paridrishyate ataha karanena bhavyam. This was the argument. Okay. So yadatu tadrahitaha avikriyaha atma. So whatever we may say, so one can just think of a certain transformation that is happening, but the transformation is also associated with a certain vikriya. So you may say that there is nothing beyond this gold in this ring. But then when it was a coin, you cannot wear. You are also able to see a certain vikriya between karya and karana. So karanam vihaya karyam nasti, that is one aspect. Okay. So now this vikriya bhava is a second stage. So that is what we call as nirupadhika. So he is trying to say yadatu avikriyaha atma karyancha karanavyatiregena nasti vacharambhanam vikaro namadheyam mrittiketteva satyam iti shrutehe tada tasya nirupadhikasya alingasya sadasadadi pratyaya vishayatva varjitasya. After all, when we were discussing the previous mantra and its commentary, we were always making this distinction. There is something called Sat, there is, and therefore the Karana also has to be Sat. So the name, form, etc. may keep changing and so on. Now he is trying to say, you transcend even that stage. That stage of making any viveka that this is Sat, this is Asat, etc. etc. Okay, this is that Samadhi Sthiti. Okay. So the Samadhi Sthiti in which the Sadasadadi Viveka is also not there. Okay. So when that stage is reached, Sadasadadi Pratyaya Vishayatva Varjitasya Atmanaha. Sadasadadi Pratyaya Vishayatva Varjitasya Atmanaha Tatvabhavaha Bhavati. So, Vacharambhanam, so the idea is this simple. So, you just take it this way. Initially, one understands even this Lakshana that we are talking about, Janma, Jasyataha, etc. These are all Tatastha Lakshana, so considering a certain Upadhi into place. Now, this Nirupadhika stage is something which matures itself after establishing oneself in this Upadhika plane. It is just like even in other subjects. If you keep dwelling deeply on a particular thing, so then certain other thought emerges from that. So this is what we have to just keep in mind. So they are not two different things. They are one and the same thing. But that kind of a mature understanding comes a little later. So therefore he is saying, Sadasadadi pratyaya vishayatva varjitasya vastutaha varjitasya atmanaha tattvabhavaha bhavati tena cha rupena atma upalabdhavyaha. Ayam atma vastutaha nirupadhikaha. Okay. So this is how we need to understand. So the Shastras very clearly say, Sopadhika atmajnanat na muktihi apitu nirupadhika atmajnanan muktihi. And therefore he is saying that that has to be achieved. Okay, so that has to be achieved. So as long as there is a certain pratyaya etc. happening for you, so then you are always putting a certain kind of a boundary. So I am pramata, idam prameyam. So all this will be there. Idam sat, idam asat. So you think of a state in which, so that is the samadhyavastha, samadhana. So that is something which is referred to as I am Atma Nirupadhikaha. Nirupadhikaha means you don't have this abhimana that I am a Brahmana. You don't have the abhimana that I am Yajat. You don't have the abhimana that I am a Purusha. None of them. Okay, so everything is gone. All these are essentially made out of Upadhi. So here, even with reference to, so this Prapancha, Karyattva Lingati, if you go back, then it is Sopadhikam Brahma. Okay, so that is what is to be understood here. Tatravi Ubhayoho Sopadhika Nirupadhikayoho Astitva Tattvabhavayoho. Nirdharanartha, incidentally he is saying, Purvam asti tyeva upalabdhasya atmanaha satkaryopadhikrita astitva pratyayena. Understand? Satkarya upadhikrita astitva pratyayena. So this is basically recalling what was established. So idam karyam sat iti drishyate. So buddhi pramana, and therefore tena upadhina satkarya upadhikrita astitva pratyena upalabdhasya ityarthaha. Okay, of the two, sopadhika nirupadhikayoho sopadhikam brahma siddham. So now he says paschat. So later what do we say? Pratyastamita sarvopadhirupaha. Pratyastamita sarvopadhirupaha atmanaha tattvabhavaha. Okay? Because these shrutis, there are two kinds of shrutis. Okay? Yathagnehe, Vispulingaha, and so on and so forth. There are certain drishtantas. There are certain other drishtantas which also Naiva Vachana Manasa Praptum Shakyo na Chakshusha. Which means all the sense organs terminate their operations. That's what we. So any operation pramana prameya vyavahara is adhyasam puraskritya bhavati. So the stage in which where this pramata itself does not exist, so then we are referring to. So that is nirupadhikam atma tattvam. So here, so that's what he is trying to say. So initially sopadhika jnanam, tadanantaram nirupadhika jnanam. Why is it important? I will just tell you for a moment. See, in the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, there are two aspects. One is Tatpadartha, the other is Tvam Padartha. Now, when you are talking about this Jagadutpatti Sthiti, so then you are not able to relate it to yourself. I am not creating anything. I am not the creator of this universe. Right? So this is a stark objection that arises in everyone's mind. So this Tatpadartha initially is being said. Then you sort of, so what one has to understand is, even when you want to understand this equation, so Tatpadartha Shodhanam, Anantaram Tvampadartha Shodhanam, then Vakyartha Bodhaha will happen. So if you have to equate, then all the dharmas have to be dropped in both places. So that is what we are referring to here. Okay. So initially you start with this, then you move on to the other aspect. Okay. So that is what Acharya is trying to say. Paschat pratyastamita sarvopadhirupaha atmanaha tattva bhavaha. Understand? Pratyastamita sarvopadhirupaha atmanaha tattva bhavaha. Further he says, Viditabhyam anya, see, Viditabhyam anya advayasvabhavaha. So, Viditabhyam anya. Medinethyasthulamananvahrasvam adrishye anatmye anirukte anilayane ityadi shruti nirdishtaha prasidati. Prasidati means abhimukhi bhavati. This abhimukhi bhavati is a very interesting usage. Even in that we have this. What is that? See, Adhyasa Bhashya. Haritatrina Purna Panim Upalabhya. See, Yathahi Pashvadayaha. So he says, see, Gandot Jatakaram Purusham Abhimukham Upalabhya Mam Bhantu Maya Michatiti. Palayante, they run away. Palayitu Marabhante. Haritatrina Purna Panim Upalabhya Tam Prati Abhimukhi Bhavanti. This Abhimukhi Bhavati is what I was just telling. So this is a beautiful usage. So you look, they look forward, they want to attach to you. So give some happiness to you. Similarly, this jnana prasidati means, so it just dawns upon you. So prasidati abhimukhi bhavati, it just dawns. So you just have to contemplate. That's what he is saying. Atma prakashanaya. Therefore, what does Acharya conclude? Atma prakashanaya purvam astityupalabdhavataha ityetat. To whom it will be abhimukhi bhavati? Astiti prasamataha upalabdhavyasya. So you have to do that. Purvam astityupalabdhavataha ityetat. This is a certain process that is being explained here. So then the next mantra, Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yesya hridishritaha athamartyo mrdo bhavati atra brahma samashnute. So now for this person, Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yesya hridishritaha athamartyaha amrito bhavati. Evam paramartha. This mantra is simple. So, Yada sarve pramuchyante. They just leave this person. Hridishritaha kamaha. Then what happens? Martyaha, this fellow, will become amrita. This is what the mantra says. Now, for whom? So it is what is being said. Evam paramartha atmadarshinaha. Evam paramartha atmadarshinaha. The one who is able to reach this state. Yada yasmin kale. See, so sarve kamaha. See, Kamaitavyasya anyasya abhavat pramuchyante. Understand? How does the kama go? Kama is always trying to connect with something. Either you want or you don't want. Both are kamas. I want to eat this, I do not want to eat this. I want to study this, I do not want to study this. Right? Both are kama. Now he is saying, when does this go? Kamaitavyasya anyasya abhavat pramuchyanti. So kama will go only when the padartha is not seen. Kamaitavya means anyasya swatma vyatiriktasya. Swatma vyatiriktasya anyasya abhavat. So what happens to this person at that stage? See, once you say, this is what one needs to understand. Ayam atma sat tadapi sat sadvyatirekena anyate kimapi nasti. This is the drishti. Apo anyaha is not there. Ayam atma brahma idam sarvam yadayam atma. Once the drishti is there, I want to get myself. Not possible. See, you may want to have the buddhi not wandering. See, that may be there. But I want to get myself. You are already there. There is no question of getting. Swatma vyatiriktam anyat. So idam sarvam yadayam atma, when this buddhi is there, so I am api atma tadapyatma. Anyasya vastunaha sattve praptavyatva buddhi athava parityaktavyattva buddhi will be there. So with reference to oneself, there is no praptavya, there is no parityaktavya buddhi. So that is what he is trying to say. Evam paramarthadarishinah yada yasmin kale sarve kamaha kamaitavyasya anyasya abhavat. The moment you see something which is different from you, then anyasya vastunaha, that is why we have here in Taittiriya, udaramantaram kurute athatasya bhayam bhavati. Antaram kurute means once there is a distinction, then this ichha will definitely be there. So here, kamaitavyasya anyasya in the samadhyavastha. So kamaitavyaha padarthaha nasti. You are just with yourself. Anyasya abhavat pramuchyante vishiryante. So this actually doesn't mean that at the vyavahara dasha, other things are not there. As far as this mature person is concerned, for him dvitiyasya pratitihi nasti. Okay. Pramuchyante vishiryante ye asya. Now he says, prak pratibodhat vidushaha hridi buddhau shritaha ashritaha. Prak pratibodhat. So prak pratibodhat, aham brahmana abhimana is there. Ahantu idanim grihastha. Ahantu idanim adhyeta. Ahantu so and so. So all that is there. So as long as those things are there, then obviously, so this kamaitavya will be there, kamaha will be there, everything will be there. Okay? So that is why he is saying, ye asya prak pratibodhat hridi buddhau. Okay? Hridi in the mantra should be taken as buddhau shritaha ashritaha. Buddhirihi. So here, incidentally, Bhagavad Pada says something. What does he say? Buddhirihi kamanam ashrayaha na atma. This is basically some kataksha on the Naiyayika school. Buddhirihi kamanam ashrayaha na atma. Kama sankalpaha ityadi shrutyantaracha. So yada sarve pramuchyante kamayesya hridishrutaha atha martyaha amruto bhavati. So that part has to be explained. Now he says atha. Atha means tada. Tasyam avasthayam martyaha prak prabodhatu asit saha prabodhottara kalam avidya kama karma lakshanasya mrityoho vinashat. Understand? Avidya kama karma lakshanasya. This is what is mrityu. So avidya kamaha kamena kartavyata buddhi. So this is something which will be definitely there. Avidya kama karma lakshanasya mrityoho vinashat amruto bhavati, which means he completely gets free. So there is no kartavyata buddhi. So then what would this person do? So only those activities which are essential for the sharira sthiti matra. Okay. So sharira sthiti matra karma kurvan asti, which means snanam, panam, ahara. The rest, there is no question of any kamana. So that is what he is trying to refer to. So here, see, prak prabodhad asit saha prabodhottara kalam avidya kama karma lakshanasya mrityor vinashat amruto bhavati. So further he says gamana prayojakasya mrityoho vinashat. Understand? So gamana prayojaka means for you to engage in some activity. Gamanam here refers to towards something, moving towards something, okay, in order to either acquire or to drop. Okay. So gamana prayojakam. So what are the gamana prayojakaha? Avidya kama. Gone. So therefore he says gamana prayojakasya mrityor vinashat gamana anupapatte. There should be a certain prayojaka for one to engage. So that itself is not there. See, na shastra, na shastram, na shishyo, na shiksha, na chattam, na jaham, na chayam prapanchaha swarupavabodhaha vikalpa sahishnuhu tadeko vasishta shiva eva. So that is the point that he is trying to say. Even with reference to this shastra. Shastra is a means by which it is to be gained. After that, even this may not be required. So my father used to give an example. See? So shastra, how do you understand? So this is just like, so in those days when the concrete constructions were there, so he will say, you see, hundreds of posts are there. How long they have to be there? Till the concrete becomes stable in a week's time, 10 days time. After that, why do you need the danda? Gone. Similarly, for a Buddha Purusha, this may not be required. Atra Brahma Samashrutena. Understand? Atra means kutra, ihaiva. So there he gives an example. Pradipa nirvanavat sarva bandhanopashamat. Pradipa nirvanavat. So even the light which is glowing, so everything is gone, therefore that also goes away. Dahya bhavena vidya shikhini cha virate. This is how it is said. See, dahya bhavena vidya shikhini cha virate tvanmayi khalva avastha. That is how they describe. That is what he is trying to say. So only when there is an oil will the lamp be glowing. So there is nothing to burn now. Finished. So this karma is all like that. So once that is gone, then vidya shikhini cha virate. So vidya is avidyayaha apohanartham. That is gone. Tvanmayi khalva avastha. Upashamanat brahma samashnute brahmaiva bhavati ityarthaha. Okay? So this is what one has to understand. Okay? Now let us read how Ramaraya presents this whole thing in this verse. Karyasyasya nidarshanat upalabhetastīti hetum param svatmanam prathamam tato nirupadhehe. So he is bringing that nirupadhi. Ubhayoho is there. Tattvabhavena cha ubhayoho. Nirupadhehe tattvam sphutam bhasate. Sammijñānena evam atra tu yada kama vinashtaha same hrutstha esha tada vrto bhavati va brahmaiva sampadyate. Karyasyasya nidarshanat upalabheta asti iti hetum param. Understand? Karya is this prapancha. So karyena karanasya anumanam. Karyasyasya nidarshanat. Since you are seeing this karya, so what does he understand? Therefore he says, asti iti hetum. There is a hetu for this karya. Hetum param. And this param svatmanam. Okay. So this Vakya essentially says, so tasya tat aham. Svatmanam. He says, prathamam tato. After that, nirupadhehe tattvam sphutam bhasate. So then, so this kinchijyatvam, anything that is there, so this, see, after all, ultimately, if you just think, when you say I, obviously it is very difficult for us to think of all pervasive, cause of all things. How is it possible? The pradesha avacchinnatvam, that is there. So kala avacchinnatvam, it is there. So desha avacchinnatvam, kala avacchinnatvam, everything will be there. Alpajñatvam, no need to say. So on the other hand, when you talk about tatpadartha, so how does the Shruti describe? The shastrayo nitvat. So shastrasya yoni, shastrayoni. So that is aparicchinnam, sarvajñam. Deshataha, kalataha, vastutaha. All that parichinna is gone. These two things that you are talking about. So these two aspects have to be dropped. The only thing that one has to think of is chidvastu. That is a Chaitanya, this is Chaitanya. Chaitanya matrena is what you can think of abheda. So not with any other thing. So that is why he is just saying nirupadhehe. The moment you bring in upadhi, obviously they are different only. Nirupadhehe tattvam sphutam bhasate. Sphutam bhasate means, so once you keep on contemplating, then that kind of jnana evolves by itself. Swayam bhasate. Sammijñānina evam atra tu yada. Sammijñāninaha evam. Then further he says, atra tu yada kama vinashtaha same. Same means all kamas. We have in Bhagavad Gita also, right? No, not that. No. Sthitaprajñasya lakshanam. Sthitaprajñasya ka bhāṣā samadhisthasya keshava. Sthitadhīh kim prabhāṣeta kimasīta vajeta kim. Prajahāti yada kāmān sarvān pārthamanogatān. Atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthitaprajñastadochyate. prajahati yada kaman. Prajahati yada kaman. So essentially, yada sarve pramuchyante kama yasya hridishritaha. That's right. Same hritsthaha yesha tada amrito bhavati. Here, va is to be understood in a different sense. Avadharanarthe va. Sometimes they use this. So this is not this or that, etc. It is not used in that sense. Brahmaiva sampadyate. Now let us read the Vyakhya quickly. Vyakhyanam he says, Nanu karyalingena mayopadhika brahmanumanepi nirupadhikam brahma anumanena pratyakshena va nasiddhyati. You understand? So karyalingena karanasya anumana. So that anyway, that kind of a thing. Mayopadhikam brahma jagat karanam. Okay, that is what is called sopadhikam. Karyalingena mayopadhikam brahma anumanepi nirupadhikam brahma anumanena pratyakshena va nasidhyati. Okay, so this is not possible to linga. So now Prathamantavat asya karyasya. So here karya is not necessary. This sharira is also a karya. And anything that has a tangible form, the entire jagat that you are able to see is also a karya. Prathamantavat, first, at the first level, asya karyasya jagataha nidarshanat. Nidarshanat means it is evident to you through your sense organ. Nidarshanad. Nishkrishtam darshanam nidarshanam. Okay. Hetum karanam paramam svatmanam astiti ubhalabheta janiyat. So with reference to Jagat you can think of, with reference to even this Karya Bhuta Sharira, you are able to perceive. So therefore he is saying astiti upalabheta janiyat. Tataha, after that, nirupadhehe nirupadhikasya atmanaha tattvam swarupam sphutam bhasate. So first is this stage, then so nirupadhikam sphutam bhasate. Okay. So then he says samadhi pratyaksheniva nirupadhika brahma siddhiriti bhavaha. What is the means? Samadhi pratyaksheni. It is only the avastha, samadhi avastha. So then you have this nirupadhikam brahma asti iti bhavaha. Evam samyajnaninaha yadatu atraiva janmani hritsthas same. Same means sarve. Sarve kamaha vinashtaha tada eshaha vidvan amrito bhavati. Amrito bhavati va. So he is just explaining this as amrito bhavatyeva. Katham amritatvam ataha brahmaiva sampadyate. So brahmaiva ayam sampadyate purusha. I'll just read the next verse also. Just we'll explain later. Martyoham mukhajosmi meva puridam.
Martyoham mukhajosmimeva puridam. Martyoham mukhajosmimeva puridam.
Gehadikam mamakam.
Gehadikam mamakam. Gehadikam mamakam.
Yajñoham dhanikosmi cheti. Yajñoham dhanikosmi cheti. Yajñoham dhanikosmi cheti. Hridaya-granthir-yada bhidyate. Hridaya-granthir-yada bhidyate. Hridaya-granthir-yada bhidyate. Maya pratyayarupayesha vidushaha. Maya pratyayarupayesha vidushaha. Maya pratyayarupayesha vidushaha. Sarvopi kamastada.
Sarvopi kamastada. Sarvopi kamastada.
Nashtasyadamruto bhavatyatha buddhaha. Nashtasyadamruto bhavatyatha buddhaha. Nashtasyadamruto bhavatyatha buddhaha. Vedopadeshastviyan. 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 So, Sthulataya, I just give the meaning. Martyoham mukhajosmi me vapuridam. So, Martyoham is one kind of adhyasa. Mukhajaha is another kind of adhyasa. Mukhajaha has to do with Mukhatu Jayati, means Brahmano. So there is a Veda mantra which I will give in the next class. Mukhajosmi me vapuridam gehadikam mamakam. Okay. So first is I am so and so is the adhyasa. Then adhyasa with the properties that are associated with you. Gehadikam mamakam. Then yajñoham. What is yajñoham? This has to do with this is not that yajñoham. That yajñoham will be Brahma Brahmagno Brahmanahutam, that is different. So this yajñoham means in Sanskrit you usually give Devadatta, Yajñadatta, etc. Okay? Namni abhimana. Yajñoham dhanikosmi chedi. Hridaya-granthir-yada bhidyate. So these are all the granthis which bind the person. Hridaya-granthir-yada bhidyate. In fact, just 2 days back as I was traveling to Chennai, I am telling you, these kind of granthis naturally arise. I was entering the flight. There is a person, he just looked at me and then he wanted to greet me, just all this. Then he inquired, so I felt like talking to you, he just said. And then I just said, I am going inside. He was in business class this time, I just went inside 2 rows behind. Then he said, I want to talk to you. Then I said, okay, so I'll settle and then come back. So I want to know who you are. I just said, I will come back in 2 minutes. After everyone settled, I just went and told that I am so and so. Then he said, I am a lawyer. He said. So then, within a few seconds, I mean, not that everybody does, I'm just saying, so these are all some. So he started arguing with one of the crew. So why should I wear mask? So in they are not wearing. So here they are not wearing. You yourself were not wearing. Then the Maya will stop. See, so this Hridaya Granthi is so that Vasana, Asat Vasana anyway. Hridaya Granthi yada bhidyate Maya pratyarupayesha vidushaha. Maya pratyarupayesha vidushaha. Sarvopi kamastada nashtasyat amruto bhavatyatha buddhaha. Vedopadeshastvim. This is not nothing more, it says. See, nashtaha yada kamaha tada amruto bhavati. See, buddhaha. So then he becomes wise. See, here this is a very, very important message. See, one way of seeing is that whatever happens. It doesn't mean that you should not make effort, but you should not be disappointed with that. So that is why this verse is considered very important. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Getting wedded to something, people get into all kinds of troubles. It doesn't mean that you should not take initiative. You should do all that. So, but then this kind of maturity should be there. So then you are not, see, that I have to be respected, and so on and so forth. All these are all adhyasas. So if you drop that, then balyena tishthase. That is what Shruti advises. Balyena tishthase. Balyancha pandityancha nirvidya atha muni. That bhavana will naturally arise. So that is what is being stated. We'll see. This is another interesting mantra. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Panaktu Sahabhiryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve Sukhinas Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha